Hello everybody. This week we've got Doctor Strange, where Benedict Wong plays the part of Wong. This is a 2016 Marvel Cinematic Universe film featuring the directorial work of Scott Derrickson. Enjoy. Welcome to the Wong Decision. This is a podcast where a couple of northern cunts talk about...
You went in so hot straight away.
Talk about a wonderful northern actor, Benedict Wong.
Yeah.
This is one of them light-hearted film podcasts where we talk all things Wong.
We do, yeah.
I'm one of your two co-hosts. I'm Sketch Benjamin. I'm a videographer. I'm a musician come videographer.
Whoa.
I'm a videographer, musician videographer.
Right.
And with me is my other co-host, Alex Dop.
Yes, I am just a musician. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I would say, do you think it's fair to say that you're a performer, composer, producer?
If we were to dissect what I do, then I would say yes, producer, composer, songwriter.
Yeah.
I guess performer, but I don't have the videography element. I don't have any qualifications to be talking about this.
No, I don't have any qualifications in videography.
Other than the fact that you get paid, bitch.
That's not a qualification, is it? That's just it's like an abhorrent injustice or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we both did a pop music degree about a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.
Same course, same year.
Yep.
I was wondering.
Same birthday,
although different years.
a year apart.
I took a gap year.
I was going to ask the audience to which one's the older one, which one's the younger one.
Yeah.
Since I've shaved, I look about 3 years old right now. So
That would have been a fun game because I have always looked young in general anyway. But then you've got like a wow, doesn't that chiseled actor look young?
Really?
Whereas I feel as though I've got more of a you need ID to be here, mate, kind of look about me.
Sorry, mate, you need IB to be buying those condoms.
Yeah. Did you say IB?
I think I did by accident.
You know what? I've come in hard.
Yeah.
I like
this.
it.
This
you need IB to buy those condoms.
Yeah.
You need the International Baccalaureate.
What are you doing trying to buy those paracetamol?
Paracetamol.
The paracetamol.
You need the International Baccalaureate to be able to buy condoms because that's GCSE age, right?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
I think that sort of checks out. Although, should there be a minimum age on condoms? Probably not. Right?
Definitely not.
Also, because they're totally harmless. I mean, unless you give it to a really young baby and they suffocate or something. They're not. They're not dangerous. Yeah, as in because they're not.
How small's that baby's head?
Well, you can inflate them, can't you?
Yeah. I mean that's the kind of thing where it would never happen, but a company would probably have to say do not inflate over baby's head just in case.
Yeah. No, there's no babies. That's why we're buying these.
If you've arrived to this podcast to listen to insightful discussion about one of our most cherished character actors, this is what you're here for, right? Talking about
condoms.
Yeah.
And adding bees to all the words.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say though is,
yeah,
when we got to third year and we had to pick which modules we did, which did you go for?
I went for performer songwriter.
Okay.
And now I spend all my time doing production and composition, which were the other two modules I could have picked.
Yeah, that was why I asked. I wondered if you did those.
Yep.
Because to catch anybody up, we didn't really become friends until post uni.
Yeah, different circles.
Different circles, groups. Yeah. Would you say... I wouldn't say nemesis, because nemesis implies quite a lot of thought. We were more just we were almost in different tribes though. There just wasn't any tribal warfare or very little.
It would have been what are the Romeo and Juliet families?
The Montagues and the Capulets.
Yeah, it'd be like that if they
take my points.
That was really good.
Thanks. Yeah.
I'm very glad that you did that because otherwise they would have been scrambling for the.
I'm a cultured guy. What can I say?
It's that if they weren't firing shots at each other.
Yeah.
And they were just you're over there, we're over here, we're not arsed by each other.
I think it is that. And if somebody from your pool of friends and somebody from my pool of friends had started seeing each other, I think similarly to in Romeo and Juliet, it would be a bit that's weird.
Not sure about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were crossovers. There were people who were crossovers though. They would float, and I would say that they didn't identify with either tribe.
Who are you thinking?
Kobe fan.
Give me names. Oh, I mean,
He much like the film we're talking about today, he transcends time and space.
And this is why you're the guy getting us on track. I love this. You're right.
Yeah, what are we doing here?
We're here to talk about films.
Yeah.
And talking about fantastic people of Asian descent who are just brilliant and beloved everywhere they go.
If that doesn't get Kobe to listen to this podcast, nothing will.
Yeah, well, this will be the TikTok clip.
Yeah, Kobe, we mention you in this podcast. Fucking listen to it.
We'll tag it. We'll invite him as a collaborator. It's like, yeah, please.
And he'll be like, nah.
And in 4 months, he'll be like, I heard that.
He'll be like, he won't accept the thing, and then 6 months down the line, he'll mention it.
And we scroll back now, and it's like, oh, he did accept the collaborator invite, just really
the whole
late.
time, and you're like, what? Hang on, no, what? That? No, he didn't. But he didn't though. It's like the Black Mirror episode recently where things change and it fucks up with the person.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen this one.
It's in the latest season of Black Mirror. There's it's like a chicken shop name or something. Barney's versus Bernie's, and Netflix changed the thing so that different viewers had different experiences.
Did they actually?
Apparently so. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but
because that's what happens within the context of the episode, so that the character is constantly getting kind of
I know it's Bernie's because my fucking boyfriend worked there, and then
I see that hat every day,
and you Google it and it's Barney's. Or
looks at the hat, it's like, whoa.
It's the other way around. That'll be how Kobe's like, I was on it.
So
I did accept your collaboration.
Different viewers actually get different.
Apparently.
I would love it. I love it if that's true, and I also love it if that's not true, and they just tell people that and just let people stress out.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's good. So we're here to. You were trying to get us on track, and I was just going to say,
do my best. Right, this week's film. We're getting into it.
Yeah. Do you want to take the reins?
Yeah. Do you know what's weird about this film? It just being called Doctor Strange. I think I just expect everything now with the way that Marvel's gone to just be this big, complex, jumbled, colon something.
A big jumbled colon.
But there was a time when it was just Iron Man, Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But now we're all Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man and the fucking On His Way Home, and
Spider-Man and the On His Way Home.
Yeah, there's loads of. It's just a bit much. Whereas we're back into a simpler time. This is 9 years ago, 2016's Doctor Strange.
So that is quite late, isn't it? Where does that put it in the Marvel world?
In the order.
The first Avengers by that point? I think so, right?
Yeah, the first Avengers was in 2011, I believe.
Yeah, so this is a late... For there to be no subtitle.
2012.
2012, okay, sick. So for no subtitle. I know, because when I was saying Doctor Strange then, my brain was going, is
Doctor
there
Strange
more to the...
With the...
And the single verse of Sanity.
Yeah, we've had a second Iron Man. We've had the Captain America, the first Avenger. So that was like a...
Oh, that was subtitled already.
Like a subtitled thing straight away. There's obviously a load of extended cinematic universe stuff. There was the Incredible Hulk as well. But that doesn't... Does that kind of counts?
Oh, yeah, and is that...
canon, but is a different actor playing Hulk.
Oh, yeah, right, because Robert Downey Jr. pops up at the end of that, doesn't he, to recruit him?
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
But that kind of gets
not quite right.
erased because Eddie Norton dropped out.
Yeah, and ends up being...
Do you know what? I just realised, because Edward Norton publicly, he bashes on Marvel films.
Does he?
Or he did when he was promoting... Do you remember that film that he did in about 2020 that was like a mobster 1930s New York thing?
I do, yeah. I can't remember what it's called, but I do remember the film.
I remember when he was promoting that he was going around going you could go watch that trash, or you could come and see a real piece of art.
Motherless Brooklyn, was that it?
Yes, that was it.
Yeah. Very mediocre film to be trashing one of the most successful movie franchises in history.
Yeah. I think of that thing, they say if Burger King and McDonald's went around telling everybody how bad the opposition was, eventually nobody would want to buy burgers anymore.
Right, yeah, so it doesn't work.
I think like that. It's if you're operating in a space, you can't go around just saying that other people are shit.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know, it just feels spiritually wrong.
So then...
Spiritually Wong.
Back on track. So then to bring it back, so after Avengers, we've got Iron Man 3, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, then we open the Guardians of the Galaxy box.
So that's still pretty strange.
Yep, and we have a second Avengers film. You got Captain America Civil War, and then you hit Doctor Strange. So he's second phase of character, I guess.
Yeah, he's...
First phase being the original Avengers.
Yeah,
Second phase being Ant-Man, him.
But is this after Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
So I think
And
this
then
is
you've
in
got-
what they call Marvel's Phase 3, isn't it?
Is it Phase 3?
The
Right.
MCU, because I think Phase 1 ended with... I'm such a fucking nerd.
That's fine. That's exactly what we're here for.
This is literally what we're here for. All right, let me just get back in and enjoy.
Mhm.
So I believe, actually, Phase 1 ends with the first Avengers film. Phase 2 ends with the second Avengers film.
Right.
And then I don't know what happens. I don't know where Phase 3 ends. Is that with Infinity War and fucking Endgame?
I'm not sure. I mean, there's someone's listening to this, I guess, who's interested in this and screaming at their device. But just to bring it back around to Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah.
So, because we're not actually here
you're
to
good.
talk about Doctor Strange or the Marvel phases, but this is this is how late we are in that. And 2016 was a simpler time, man. Fucking hell. Like, you think about back, that was just, Trump is only just knocking about in 2016.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The world was a different place.
I'm getting to know you and Shell
Yeah.
around about 2016, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think that's reflected in the film.
Yeah.
I think you can sort of see that in the film. We cared about so much less.
Right.
We just had time because of the film. We had time and space to enjoy stupid shit.
No, that is on track. That is on track. If you can just weave a spell in somehow.
Oh, right. So 2016's Doctor Strange, starring Benedict Cumberbatch, directed by Scott Derrickson, who had previously, I think, directed just horror films.
Yeah.
Like Sinister was his big one, I think.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, and he went on to direct a few more horror films, and he's a writer as well. I think he's got writing credits on this. He directed that Black Phone film that came out a few years ago.
Oh, with Ethan Hawke?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I feel like you can sort of see that a little bit in the film.
Yeah, I think there's a good thing when horror directors go on these superhero films.
Yeah.
Like Sam Raimi doing the Spider-Man's.
Mm.
And
he did that as second Doctor Strange.
he did the second structure. Exactly. And you get those occasional moments like in Spider-Man when Willem Dafoe is talking to himself in the mirror, and one of them's the evil him and the other's like the sane him. And when there's an action scene, you'll just crash zoom into a woman screaming, and it's really full on.
Yeah.
And I feel you can feel the horror. It's like it works well in a space where they're otherwise not being very horrific.
And some of the effects, I think, in this are quite like some of the VFX are quite sparkly, and oh wow, look, it's kind of psychedelic. But then you combine that because of the horror director with like, there's a moment where there's like loads of hands, and he's got like hands on his fingers, and it's like kind of minging, like it's pretty gross.
Yeah.
And I feel like without that horror background, they're probably not going to even think of doing something like that.
Yeah.
They just stick with the like it looks good, the bright colors and the flashy lights and the strange sort of like kaleidoscopic thing, but it kind of gets a bit old.
Yeah.
And this film is post Inception, so all the sort of effects of the buildings moving was cool, but we have seen that a little in Inception, whereas like hands on fingers and then loads of hands all coming over and grabbing you and put, like, that's just weird. Like, where the fuck have we seen that before? And I think that actually helps to set this movie apart from, obviously, from the rest of the Marvel stuff, but from just like big blockbusters.
Yeah.
You know?
But I listened to the director's commentary. Do you remember those?
Oh, did you?
It took me ages to find it. I found it on some like hacky little website.
Right.
And what I did is I watched the film and then I just listened to the audio commentary as audio, and I just was like, yeah, I think I know which bit they're on about.
Right.
And the director was saying that he loved doing that. And he was like, because most of the people that watch these films aren't horror fans, you can do a little bit of horror and they lose their shit. And he's like, this is so fun.
Right, yeah. He's like, this is dead easy.
Yeah. And they mentioned Inception as well.
Right.
And he was saying that a lot of people have made that comparison. And he was going like, yeah, but we weren't, in his mind, it's like we weren't ripping off Inception or anything. It was like Inception had been in 4 years prior.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's right. I think Inception was 2012. And...
Oh, I thought it was 2010.
Oh, maybe it was, but it was a few years earlier. And he was like, yeah, we wanted to take that. And that was definitely one of our reference points. And we wanted to take it and, push it further with the creativity and the technical capacity of time moving on.
To be fair, they did. Like, it was more. They did it more.
It is more, isn't it? Yeah. I wish that Inception had done that more, because that was a big part of the trailer, was all the cities bending into each other.
Yeah,
and
cool.
I still feel like I'm jonesing for that film that I thought it was going to be.
I have to say, I get it more in Inception, though. Like, when that happens, I'm like, oh, we're in a dream and, like, mad shit is happening. In this second view, this is only my second time watching this, I was like, so what's actually happening for, like, everyone else right now? like knocking about on the street.
Yeah.
And is this in your head or is this actually happening? And where are they actually going? And what spiritual plane are they? So there's someone just walking down the street there, and then all the buildings fold in. Are they seeing these guys like pretend fighting in their heads against each other, or is that person not there, or are they somewhere else, or is that person now crushed by a building? I was just like, what is going on?
Because they do move through actual like real world space, don't they?
Yeah.
While they're running after each other in the mirror. What's it called? The mirror world or something?
I don't even know. I've got to be honest.
Mirror dimension maybe is what it was called.
When I first started watching this, I was thinking, oh, like fair play to these filmmakers for giving us credit to be able to understand this. And then after like an hour, I was like, I don't understand any of this.
Yeah, that's fair. It's like it works it probably works if you're really, really zoned in on it.
Right.
And if you're pure surface level, just like, the characters are doing stuff and he's just won that fight now.
Yeah.
But if you're kind of halfway in between, you're like, wait, what the hell is supposed to happen?
I think I watched this with the exact same frame of mind and in the exact same way, and I received it in the same way as the very first time I watched it, which was exactly that. Of like, I'm watching this film, I'm not like super into it, like I'm not like, I'm not a huge Marvel guy anyway, but like I like them and I pay attention to what's going on and I understand stuff. And I just eventually was like, I don't know what's fucking happening there.
Eventually,
yeah. But I think, like you say, you either have to really zero in on it, or you just enjoy it for what it is. And I think I end up just like enjoying it for what it is, and
that's
fluff
fair.
on the surface. Kind of go, yeah, whatever, cool.
Fair.
Yeah.
I think the kaleidoscopes looked satisfyingly great.
No, they look cool.
I think it's pretty cool.
They look cool. I've got no problem with all of that. I guess I just kind of find that like it doesn't differentiate as much as that horror stuff does.
Yeah.
And then when the horror stuff happens, like you say, you're just like, yeah, fucking whoa.
Yeah.
Whereas with the other stuff, at first you're like, ooh. And then by the end, when he's talking to the big face, I'm like, yeah, lights.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
one of them big like CGI, he's on a planet and it's all...
Yeah, and it's like, wow, lots of effects.
Should we touch on how Wong comes into things? How Ben Dubs...
We should probably get to it at some point. we picked this film and we went through a list of like his screen time, because we don't want to waste your time, dear viewer / listener, but we also don't want to waste our time. But
dear each other,
yeah, dear Ben, dear sketch
compatriot.
But it's difficult because he's such a beloved character, Benedict Wong playing the character Wong, that you feel like you see him more than you do.
Right.
And we picked this one because it's the OG. It's the first time you meet him. But it's not the most screen time he has. It's close. It's one of. He has more screen time, I think, in Multiverse of Madness. And from the list I remember was talking about She-Hulk, Attorney of Law. I'm pretty sure he has more screen time than that.
Great.
But like...
Do you have how many minutes he's in this first Doctor Strange?
I do, yeah. So the most amount of screen time is Multiverse of Madness. And that's about 12 minutes.
Okay. It's mad, that, isn't it? I remember hearing that about Kirsten Dunst in the first Spider-Man film.
Right.
That she's like such a big part of it, but I think she's only got like 6 minutes of screen time.
Right.
Wow.
It's mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I was looking it up before. He's got like no screen time in Endgame, but I fucking thought he was in that all the time.
Right.
But he's obviously not.
When you say none, like he probably is in it for like 2 seconds in the big...
He's in like 30 seconds or something.
Right,
like
yeah.
I'll find you the actual number in a second. But yeah, so Multiverse of Madness is the highest. But this one he's in for 7 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Total. But you do feel like you get a good amount of him.
Yeah.
Very odd. In Infinity War, he was in it for 3 minutes 30 seconds.
Okay.
And in Endgame, he was there for...
That's more than I would have expected in Infinity War, you know.
I feel like he was in it loads. 45 seconds in Endgame.
That sounds about right. And it's probably in shots where there's also at least 15 other characters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just doing his battle-y, fighty stuff.
We were talking in the Kublai Khan episode about like old-timey... what is that? It's like 13th century... I don't know. What's the name for that genre? It's like, it's not fantasy because it's historical, but it's like, it's near as damn fantasy.
And it's not period because you think of period drama and you think of like Victorian.
Pre-period. I don't know what you call that, but you know how we were both saying like we didn't much engage with that.
Yeah.
I feel like Doctor Strange is so on the cusp of being another one of them for me, where you know when they start doing their they put their fingers into like a little
Pretty good at that.
upward pointy thingy, and then they do a circle in the air and it starts drawing orange circles of spells and stuff. That for me is a real like, oh, I can feel myself zoning out hard on this. Yeah.
Right.
But I think I get away with it. No, sorry, it gets away with it for me because our POV character, the other Benedict Cumberbatch.
There's a Benedict as well, not just like he's not a Benjamin.
No, exactly. Yeah,
you're
quite right. The other Benedict. He starts in a world that looks a bit like mine.
Right.
And I think there's a lot like how Harry Potter starts with our POV character being in London.
Yeah.
Living under the stairs.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I think Harry Potter's great. But Lord of the Rings I can't get with at all.
Oh, no, man.
Because they start out in the... And I think if they started...
It's always there, yeah.
Exactly.
Because it's a different world entirely. It's
and
not a world that includes our world.
Oh, that's true, including our world. But even like...
Because even though they go off to different places and it's a complete fantasy, it's rooted in a real place.
Yes, that's true.
Whereas Lord of the Rings is just a made-up place. It's like Star Wars.
Maybe that's also the distinction. You're right, actually. It's not just about the character starting there. It's about that world existing within that universe. But like, I think if Harry Potter started in Hogwarts, I don't think I'd be into that thing.
See, I'm such a big Lord of the Rings fan. I absolutely love it, so I can't relate on that. But I can relate on like certain aesthetics putting you off stuff. Like I get a bit like with fantasy, kind of. If it's not Lord of the Rings, I'm kind of like, I don't really care. And that's what, it was hard for me to get into Game of Thrones because I was like, it's just kind of like Lord of the Rings, but like not. But then I got into Game of Thrones eventually and okay, cool, we can do that. But that's a hard thing and I appreciate that's a harder thing. But I feel like with this Doctor Strange thing, and this actually speaks to the fact that Wong is a key character, and it also speaks to general aesthetic of what they wear and what they're doing with their jib job, with their little like dance move. Is that it conjures images of like samurai films and stuff like that.
Good. This is where you are, man. You're cooking.
It doesn't feel fantasy-ish wizards and witches or elves and whatever. It feels samurai-ish.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It feels anime almost.
Yeah, that's probably a good reference.
And the
I
magic
can't deal with anime either.
Different. Yeah, fair. I mean, I gotta be honest. I don't love this film.
Yeah.
I actually love the character of Wong. I think he's kind of... Well, let's get onto him. Let's get onto him a little bit.
Let's do that.
Because he's sort of comic relief. If you think about Wong in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he's comic relief. And he's like, he's a bit of a legend. He can handle himself, but he's a funny character as well. But it shocked me as to how serious he was at the start of this film.
Right.
And he ends up funny. And he has a moment where it's like, and release. Like he's like...
What's the moment?
It's when Benedict Cumberbatch, they vanquished the foe or whatever, and then he says something and Wong just starts laughing, but it's the first time he's been not serious.
Right, yeah.
Because he's really serious for the rest of the film. He's like the librarian guy who's like keeping rules in check and shit like that.
Yeah.
And he comes across as a very like, I take my job and my role very seriously as this kind of like magical monk type figure, and then at the very end he starts laughing.
What is it? There's a line, isn't there, where like it's something like Cumberbatch is like, whoa.
Cumberbatch.
what is it? Cumberbatch. What is it?
Cumberbatch.
Yeah. Okay. It's maybe it's slightly before that moment, but he's like, Cumberbatch saves Wong. And like brings him into that reverse time thing, you know, like because he's been killed, but then they start reversing time.
Right.
Saves him back again, and Cumberbatch is like, "I'm breaking the laws of nature, I know," which is something that Wong has been telling him, like, "You can't break the laws of nature." And Wong's like, "Well, don't stop now."
Yeah, that's the first time that maybe that's the first time then, rather than the laugh. But it's interesting to have this character that you see show up as like he's a bit sort of no nonsense. Comes in, tells it how it is, which is sort of innately funny in a universe where you've got all these mystical fucking things. But he actually starts off very self-serious and playing into the world. He takes his job very seriously.
Yeah.
But then he crops up in Spider-Man just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Yeah. Matey boy.
And his character is still serious in that he has a job to do, but he's more like personable.
Yeah.
You can relate to him, which is what I think you cast Benedict Wong for.
I wonder if that's slightly the Taika Waititi ification of the MCU.
And that's a good point.
Because like Thor kind of went on that same journey, didn't he?
Yes.
He starts very reverential and serious, and they played with that for a while, and then they were like, what if he's just a sort of deadpan slapstick comedian?
Yeah, and then he ends up with this fucking weird big gut thing.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, we like this. I was just thinking, is it worth us, for anybody who, and I know, I'll admit, the chances of this person existing is slim, but for anybody who hasn't seen the film, or maybe hasn't seen it recently, maybe that's more plausible.
Right.
Should we give them a brief idea of what the plot is?
Yeah, someone listening to this podcast half an hour in who hasn't seen the film.
Oh, is that okay? Well, maybe we'll start wrapping up by explaining the overarching.
Yeah, go on.
But so, Benedict Cumberbatch is like a sick ass surgeon, and he's a bit of a dickhead.
Yeah.
Super arrogant. I quite like that our main heroic guy is just super selfish dickhead, and he gets in a car crash because he's texting and driving and being all highfalutin,
driving like a prick,
and he ends up massively injuring his body, and medical science can't fix him. So he goes in search of all these ancient things, and that's where he comes across Tilda Swinton and Benedict Wong and the bunch of magicians who get to this point where he's hoping they'll be able to fix his tremors and make him able to get back to his high status, high paying job. Yeah. And then he reaches this point where he's like, oh, actually, maybe I'll just do the magic instead of the surgery. Yeah. And accept that I'll always be a bit shaky, and that's fine.
He ends up sort of like not ruling, but he ends up being having a key role in the organization of that, rather than going back to whatever it is.
And he settles for his very high status role within the magician community. He's like, all right. And that's kind of his arc, is him accepting, like, okay, I'll accept my low status as the master magician.
I mean, that's really nice of him. I wonder what the salary is for that role, to be fair. Like, what's the perks and the benefits?
That's so funny. I hadn't thought of it like that his whole arc is like, oh, I'll step back from high status and accept a higher calling in life. Yeah. And that higher calling is incredibly high status still.
Yeah, incredibly high, probably more so, let's be honest. He's like in charge of the fucking multiverse or some shit.
Well, to be fair, at the end of the film, he's not in charge, is he? He's not the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes, but yeah, he's still in charge of like more shit than like just doing surgery on one human being that might die. Yeah. He's like contributing to keeping millions of people alive.
But I guess it's like, I suppose the argument is that it's a bit like In the Shadows, isn't it? Yeah. Compared to his...
He doesn't get the nice car. But you can conjure one up.
A big like orange outliney car.
Just visualize exactly what you want. Yeah. Anyway, Benedict Wong.
Okay, fine. So Benedict Wong is...
This is probably one of his most famous roles.
Yeah.
It's like, he's one of those actors where your average film goer or just, regular person who just sticks on whatever's on the TV, would you go Benedict Wong, and they go, I don't know, and then you could go this guy in this film, and they go, oh yeah, I've seen that.
Poke around the edge of the living room and go, oh yeah,
I've seen him in that, and you go, all right, cool. Yeah. And this is probably what he's most known for, really.
Yeah. And he's good in it. Like you say, he's got a nice little arc of starting out very serious and slowly getting, while still very kind of like, he doesn't become like he's fucking around and not taking things seriously, but he just becomes a lot more lighthearted.
Yeah, I was reading about a little bit about his sort of the reception that he got from this film, and like the fans love him.
Do they?
Yeah,
good.
Like immediately from this film. Obviously, they love him more since because he's done more stuff and his character's developed. But I think part of the reason why that happened is because fans reacted so well to him.
Nice.
In this film, in his introduction, and that's really nice that he's got that success, and that's great. So I thought, I'll go into the IMDb trivia, which is a strange place where you get all sorts of weird shit that you're like, what? So I had a little deep dive into the trivia just before we started recording, and I was going through, and I was like, the only bit of trivia I could find, which is the trivia is massive on Marvel films. The only bit of trivia I could find, and this will interest you, is that Benedict Wong plays a character with the same name as his last name.
That is good trivia. Very good trivia. Yeah. Have you heard the story of how he got the role?
No.
There was a thing where he was working with Chiwetel Ejiofor,
Yep. Who's also in this film.
who's great in this film.
Yeah.
They were working on something else together when Chiwetel was he'd already got the part to be in Doctor Strange.
Okay.
And Benedict Wong was having a look, and he was like, "Whoa, looking at these comics, like there's a guy called Wong in this."
Oh, really?
And he starts like putting feelers out. Wong said to Ejiofor, "How about we do a campaign?
Mm-hmm.
You sign it, Benedict Cumberbatch signs it. They'll have to listen. We'll call it Wong for Wong, and we'll give it to the producers."
Love that.
Chiwetel immediately was like, "No, I'm not doing that."
Oh.
And so he let that dream die. But through other means, he kind of gets knocked back a little bit and doesn't happen. And then eventually it's like, oh, that actually has happened.
Oh.
And he texts Chiwetel something like, "Oh, I've got news." And Chiwetel replies and goes, "Wong for Wong?" And Wong replies just going, "Wong is Wong."
And the correct response to that text is Wong.
Great.
Wong for Wong? Wong is Wong. Wong.
Should we do our conclusive roundup? I know we've
barely talked about
this is
him.
the stupidest.
He is featured in this episode of this podcast as much as he's featured in that film.
Maybe that's something we could aim for.
Well, I got two things to bring to the table as we wrap up. One of which I think you were about to bring to the table, but just before you get there, I need to talk about his look. I talk about his look in every episode.
Yeah.
He's obviously nailing this look.
Yeah.
Because
describe it to me.
Well, he's like a wizardy warrior samurai guy, but he's like completely shaved his head.
Yeah.
And like I always say this about him, he's just got something about him. So when he shows up as a samurai, certain people that would turn up in that getup and be like, no.
Yeah.
I actually think Benedict Cumberbatch looks a bit like that, where you're like,
yeah,
oh, fuck off,
like they
mate.
get away with it with the good lighting and stuff,
Yeah.
but it's like, oh, that's kind of strange.
But like Tilda Swinton gets away with it because she's such a peculiar sort of
and she's shaven-headed in that as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a ball cap or not.
No, sure, but the character.
Yeah, the character.
And it looks sick.
Yeah, and like Chiwetel looks class in it. There's a few other people. To be fair, I think Mads Mikkelsen pulls it off quite well.
Yeah.
But Benedict,
he's good.
Bumbersnatch looks just a bit like, he looks a bit naff.
But
Benedict Wong shows up. He's in with the others. He's in with Mads and Taylor and the rest of them.
Maybe
Taylor?
I would even.
Who's Taylor?
Wait, what did you say?
I said he shows up with Mads and Taylor.
What is that?
But Mads Mikkelsen and what's her name? We just mentioned her.
Oh, Tilda. I understand what happened. I would say, and this, I don't know if this is potentially like racially problematic, but I would say that because he's got like an Eastern heritage, he kind of looks even more natural in that samurai kind of gear.
Yeah, true. I do think Mads pulls it off quite well, and I do think Chiwetel pulls it off quite well, but I know what you mean. It looks more natural, I guess.
Yeah.
Whereas Benedict Cumberbatch just looks fucking stupid. But then maybe that's also something because we're English. We look at him as an English guy and be like, what are you doing? Because, Mads Mikkelsen as a white guy as well in that get-up, but not English.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you cut him more slack. I don't know. But like...
And Wong's not got his Salford accent in that. So as in,
no,
he doesn't just come across as an English dude.
Exactly,
he seems very mystical and otherworldly.
Exactly. And so does Mads with his Scandinavian. He's Norwegian. And Tilda Swinton, I know she's British, but like she just has something else about her. But he looks class. The shaved head, class.
Yeah.
I'm there for it. He looks like at once powerful and intelligent.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like some people shave their head and you're just like, okay, you just look like a fucking skinhead now.
Yeah.
And other people do it and they look absolutely hilarious. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing there?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of people who shave their head and just look fine.
Yeah, fair. I mean, obviously there are, but like,
there are people out there who have, they're losing their hair and they might be listening to this for a little bit of respite,
a bit of reassurance.
You're up here with your beautiful head of thick hair.
I do think that generally you get some people who don't suit it, and you get some people who look like total badasses. And I think most of the time you just look like a total badass. Just mostly. But like Tilda Swinton, I know it's a role thing, but she just looks a bit ridiculous, doesn't she?
I guess. No, I disagree. I think it gives her this hard edge to the character that she's meant to have.
Fair. I didn't feel any hard edge from her. But like, the girl in Minority Report when she shaves her head.
Yeah.
She just looks so cool.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
just looks such a badass. And that's what Wong looks like in this.
Yeah,
For a guy who also has a very good head of hair,
true.
he looks class with a shaved head.
He does. And one thing I noticed about his MCU trajectory is he has slightly longer hair every time.
Oh, to see.
And I wonder if
gives
that's
less of a fuck every time.
Yeah, maybe that goes along with him becoming a bit more goofy.
Yeah, could do.
Or-
Yeah, because maybe with the shaved head, he looks more serious and more like
Yeah.
more of a unit, more of a force.
But counter thought, do you think it's one of them, like, you know, all these endless negotiations, and it's like, I'll go down to a number 2 cut this time, but I'm not going further, and they're like, all right, well, we do need you in the film, we've established you, and then he's like, I ain't going down to the buzzer even for this one.
Maybe I hadn't thought of that. I thought you were going to say it's just like, oh, I'm only in this for 45 seconds. I'm just not shaving mate. Sorry, no.
That might be part of it as well, to be fair. It's like, I've got this other commitment.
A little bit like Henry Cavill when he wouldn't shave his mustache off.
Oh, I fucking love that.
Like,
and they
he's like,
CGI'd his lip
you
on.
really want me to reshoot this one bit? I've got a mustache for took me ages to grow this.
Yeah, I was talking to Ella about that last night because we watched the new Mission Impossible.
All right.
And she was going like, wouldn't it just be easier to shave it off and then CGI the mustache on? And I was like, yeah, but he was already working on that film. So if he turns up to set on Mission Impossible and he's shaved his face, that'd be a major breach of contract.
Can we not just talk about the fact that Henry Cavill looks like the kind of fucking bloke who's got such testosterone flowing through his veins in his system that he shaves that mustache off, shoots the scene, and then just pushes really hard and another one comes out. He's like, ugh! Right.
Does that every morning when he's going between Justice League and Mission Impossible.
Just pushes out a fresh mustache.
On his way from the trailer. Oh, hang on a minute. And then, so do you give me permission to ramp us through to our final question of the day?
Because I think we're on the same page with this.
And I was suggesting, do you want to do it where just one of us answers each time?
Yep.
And I'll wing it to you for the starters. Do you think that Ben Dubs made the Wong decision in being in Doctor Strange?
I think, drum roll please, that Benedict Wong made the white decision.
The white decision. Which is not the Wong decision.
This is not the Wong decision, but he made the decision to be Wong. So he did make the Wong decision. He made the decision to be Wong.
Yeah, we have not worked this out, have we?
No.
But it's a thumbs up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, payday. We always talk about the fact that he's got paid.
He got paid.
And our dog's just arrived home.
Well, maybe that is our cue to, as we always like to say on the Wong decision, he got paid. Doom, 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 Wong decision. Doom, 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 doom. Hey, girl.
Is that Benedict Wong saying, hey, girl?
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
Thanks for listening. We, next week, are going to watch Electric Dreams. The episode is entitled, what was it?
The Impossible Planet.
The Impossible Planet, which might be episode 2 or it might be episode 8 of the only season of the Channel 4 show, Electric Dreams. We'll see you there on The Wong Decision.